What up, though, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Chopping It Up with Uncle Sean, the podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Sean, and I'm pleased to be with you here this evening, chilling in the unfinished studios of Barnes Labs. Uh, Today on the podcast, the first thing I want to talk about, first thing I want to say is I recently received some constructive criticism, and I love it. I love constructive criticism. I'm not one of those people who get mad when somebody says something contrary to what you would want them to say, or not big up in you, pointing out something that you could do better or whatever. To me, that's the type of people that you really want around you. You don't want yes people and, oh man, that's great, and it ain't shit. You know? So if you watch my videos and you have a constructive criticism, feel free to drop it in the comments. And I will read it, and I will take your criticism uh, for what it's worth. Now, the first thing I think I want to talk about today on the podcast is I want to talk about a problem that has probably plagued men from the beginning of time. And no, it's not women. No, it's bet welchers. Uncle Sean, what is a bet welcher? In layman's terms, that's a dirty dog that won't pay a bet. That's a filthy, low frequency, lack of character person that doesn't pay off a bet. If you bet with someone, you should never bet more than you can afford to lose. You should never be so sure of your bet that you don't make sure you have the funds to pay should you lose, because anything can happen. Everybody thinks they're going to win. That's why you bet. And for a man to not pay off their bet, I mean, that puts you in a pretty low bracket. And it could get you hurt. Depending on whom you bet and how much money it is and how serious they are about getting their money. You know, playing with people like that is a very unhealthy thing to do. And as a person who has had people not want to pay off a bet, you realize that puts you in a very bad position. Now let me tell you a little short story about somebody who didn't want to pay a bet off with me. I was working at a particular job, and I would have to go to this particular place every day to pick up some packages. And there was a guy that worked in there. Kind of put you in the mind of Cleveland Brown, the cartoon character. Looked just like that motherfucker. And I thought he was cool. I can't even remember his name. I thought he was cool. We used to, chop it up every day. So one day, this is back when I used to bet against the Lions all the time. because they was losing, and I knew they was gonna lose, so I would bet against them. So this guy was a Lions fan at the time, and we bet $1, and the Lions lost. He owed me $1, and he refused to pay me the dollar. Now, where I come from, there's not that many reasons why somebody don't pay you. But when it comes to $1, not having it is not one of the reasons. Which is the reason why I bet him such a low amount, because it was just a friendly little bet. I didn't know him like that. So it was only a little friendly bet. He literally refused to pay me the dollar. I came up with alternative. Hey man, just buy me a pop. It's hot outside. Get me a Coke out the machine. We'll call it square. He refused. Now, I'm on my job when I see him. So the more he wouldn't pay me, and I'm seeing him every day, and he's literally just refusing to give me a $1 bill. And unless I was ready to crash out and lose my job over $1, even though, like my man off Friday said, it was the principalities, the principle. I really wanted to put hands and feet on this motherfucker. I ain't lying. I wanted to fuck him up because I felt like he was taunting me because he knew I couldn't do nothing to him. And he was only not paying me because he knew I couldn't do nothing to him. Ooh, I never wanted to hit a man over the head with something, an object, a foreign object, so bad in my life. But I couldn't. And thank God I was man enough to not do it. Cause there's a lot of people that be like, you know what? I'm fucking him up. you know. But I had to let that go. And that's the reason why, if I'm cool with somebody, cool enough to even bet with them, I don't bet no more than $20. Because $20 is enough to where if you don't pay me, I can say, okay, I'm through fucking with you. I see what kind of person you are now. So it's good going away money. There you go. Now, I'm a man, so I don't want to be feeling like no hoe. So if you got a attitude about not paying me my $20, then But more than likely, I'm gonna let the $20 go. Now, the fact that people play with people like that, I don't. It's either disrespect or they was hoping to get lucky and knowing that they didn't have the money if they lost, and they was hoping to get lucky and get some money from you. That's pretty much the only two reasons why I believe somebody doesn't pay off a bet. Or they just think you're a punk, and then yeah, it could be that. Well, basically, yeah, that's it. You either a punk or they don't have the money. That's ridiculous. You know, and see, sometimes you'll force somebody to do something that they normally wouldn't do. That'll be totally out of character. Be wondering, why did he do that to him? Oh my goodness. Because he felt disrespected. For a man, disrespect is like the worst thing you can do. That's the worst thing. So I recommend that you, if you're not going to pay, don't bet. Try to alleviate as much trouble from your life as possible. Why ask for trouble by betting money that you don't have or that you don't intend to pay if you lose? You know, and if that gangster or whatever that you feel like you gonna bet somebody and you not gonna pay because he ain't gonna do nothing anyway, go ahead and keep on doing that until you make the wrong call. You lose two bets. Shit. You know. But that's a little lesson from your Uncle Sean right there. You know. Now, the question of the day, because I like to ask questions. My question for today is, does telling the truth make you an asshole? Does you being a person who tells the truth, not your truth, not her truth, not they truth, but the truth, does that make you an asshole? Because I believe that people who tell the truth are often perceived as being assholes. Yes. Because people really don't want to hear the truth. They don't. People want a rose-colored truth. People don't never want you to tell them that they're doing something wrong or that they are wrong about something or the way that they're living is inadequate. You know, you could be perceived as a hater or just an asshole or a jerk. If someone asked you a question and you tell them the truth and they don't like the answer that you gave them, even though it's the truth, now they mad at you. Now they think that you're trying to put them down or there's some ulterior motive to what you just said to them or whatever when they asked you a question. Or anyone in any realm that tells the truth is oftentimes they are the object of ridicule. Yeah, because people do not like the truth. The lie is so much sweeter. People would rather for you to tell them anything but the truth. Do not tell me the truth, but I want to hear the truth. But don't lie to me. Don't tell me the truth, but don't lie to me. That's what people want, really. They want you to not lie, but don't tell them the truth. And guess what? Now you got a whole president that believes in alternative facts. And a lot of you people out there believe in alternative facts too, because you really don't like the truth. Because if somebody tells you the truth, you get mad at them. If you fix a meal for someone and you fix them a plate, let's say it's a pork chop, let's say it's some mashed potatoes and some green beans and corn muffin, okay? And you set the plate down and they start eating, and you fix you a plate and maybe a kid or two at the table, and you ask the person who you fixed the plate for, how is it? And they tell you, oh well, the pork chop is dry and the corn muffin is dry, but the potatoes and the corn is good. You know what? Now they mad because you told them that the pork chop and the corn muffin was dry, and it was. You know, but people don't like when you tell them the truth. They want they want niceties, and that's cool. But let me tell you like this: like, think about some of these stupid celebrities out here. A lot of them get in trouble. You know why? Because they got people around them that are afraid to tell them the truth. They got people around them that see them effing up bad, using substances that they don't need to be using in excesses that they certainly don't need to be using them in. And they can't even say, hey, yo, you tripping, man. You need to slow down on that. They can't even say that much. And if they making a record or something, they can't tell them, damn, that's whack. That don't sound good. Now listen to the shit that's out now. Or most of the music that's out now. Sound like some bullshit. And you got a bunch of dudes hanging around that won't tell nobody nothing. Hey, this ain't shit. This garbage. It sounds just like this guy. Or it sounds just like that her. That shit is ridiculous. You need somebody around you to tell you the truth. Listen, a quote that I've always loved from Sister Soldier, Public Enemy. If the truth hurts, you'll be in pain. If it makes you crazy, you're going insane. And that's the way I try to be. I tell the truth. I don't mind hearing the truth. Does the truth sometimes hurt? Yes, it does. The truth hurts sometimes. But guess what? Hurts worse. The lie. Now think about it. I've literally been witness to a woman who had got caught cheating on her man. And When he caught her, she basically told him that she was cheating on him and didn't tell him or nothing to because she didn't want to hurt his feelings. Yeah, she was doing all that lying and sneaking and all of that because she didn't want to hurt his feelings. Now you see the logic in that. Now what hurt worse, the truth or the lie? The lie always hurts worse because let me tell you something. If somebody fixes you a steak, or no, let's say somebody bakes you a cake, right? And they think there's a cake baking motherfucker. And they bake the cake for you, and you get the cake, and you cut the cake, and that motherfucker crumbling, and it's dry, and it don't taste like shit. And you, instead of telling them the truth, you tell them, whoa, man, oh, girl, that cake, that was the best cake I ever had. And you know damn well you threw that motherfucker in the garbage. Because when nobody in the house eat it. When the kids won't eat the cake, you know it ain't shit. They don't even want to lick the icing. And you sit up there and lie. Now you got a motherfucker making you a cake that you ain't gonna eat every 3-4 months. Because they think you and your kids like the shit. Now you throwing away all that damn cake. Because you know why? Because you didn't want to tell the truth. And this person think they a cake baking motherfucker. They think they doing it. Yeah. And they cooking the cake for you, making the cake, and they thinking you eating the shit out some cake. And here you got some old sweet ass garbage. They wasting their time and resources because you don't want to hurt their feelings. You want to tell them a straight up lie instead of the truth. When really, if you think about it, if you'd have told them, hey, cake was a little dry, you didn't have to say, ah, damn, that's the worst cake I ever had. That motherfucker was dry as the Sahara Desert. What the hell did you bake it with? Sand? You ain't had to do that. All you had to do was say, it was a little, the cake was a little dry. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that would be I don't know. If you an asshole for doing that, perhaps. But who you going if you don't who are we gonna go around and just not tell the truth to each other just to save feelings and end up like if somebody give you an ugly ass tie every Christmas and now you got a closet full of ugly ass ties that you ain't gonna never wear, instead of telling them I don't like ties, I don't really wear neckties, thank you very much. Or, damn, where you get them ties from? Ugly ties are us? Or, shit, it's an ugly ass tie. I mean, thank you for the gift. Are you buying me an ugly tie on purpose? Is that like a thing? Let's everybody wear an ugly tie or something? I don't know. But why torture yourself? And the other person probably gonna notice, well, motherfucker don't never wear them ties I get him. I didn't see him out at events with ties on. And where, hey, it's even in the Bible that the truth shall set you free. And if it ain't in the Bible, it ain't my fault because some jackleg preacher told me that. So, but I believe it's in the Bible that the truth, you shall know the truth because the truth will set you free. You see, the government don't want to tell you the truth. Usually don't want to tell you the truth, not to save your feelings, it's to keep them from looking bad themselves. Think about it. If the government was to come clean with half of the shit that they do, they would look very bad. And a lot of people don't tell the truth because it makes them look bad. And vanity is insanity. I just made that shit up. Yeah, I just made that up. Vanity is insanity. So listen, by the time y'all see this podcast right here, it'll be Christmas Eve. And if you celebrate that Christmas Eve, Christmas, y'all have a Merry Christmas. If you don't, have a good day off. And it doesn't. Listen, I haven't celebrate. I don't consider myself celebrating Christmas for years, but I used to love the way this time of the year felt. There were certain commercials that would come on. You remember when Santa would ride down the hill with the motherfucking on the Gillette razor or whatever it was, and that would kind of mark the beginning of the Christmas season. And then certain cartoons would come on. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Charlie Brown Christmas, Frosty the Snowman, the Christmas that almost wasn't, and all these other ones and shit. We used to watch over and over and over, and you get into a good feeling, and family come together, and the house smelling good, and the lights is up, and your mama drive you down the streets where they got a lot of lights on the streets, and y'all look at the lights, and man, it's just now nothing. I don't feel nothing. It's nothing. I mean, no feeling, just happy to be off work. I'm happy to be off work. That's about it. And I'm happy to be alive, you know. And I'm gonna enjoy being with my family because they off too. And y'all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And uh got these sinuses. Uh I'll holler at y'all very soon. And I'd like to thank everybody who for giving me constructive criticism. And I'd like everybody to like, share, and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.